Hi, and welcome to an overview of rCRM, the CRM marketing automation solution for the bike industry. Today I'm going to be walking you through the main characteristics of rCRM and how it's designed and set up to help bike retailers improve on their overall services business and improve their business's overall profitability. So what you can see here is the main dashboard for a shop owner or manager, and it has three key sets of information. It has a number of different sales and financial information here. You can see here we have sales by stores if you have multiple stores, and by mousing over you can see the information specific to that store. You can also look at the trends around your average units per sale and see how that's going as a good measure of overall profitability and sales. You can look at your year-to-date sales in terms of the top 10 sales. By mousing over, you can also see the customer and the amount of that sale and then what time of the year it happened in. Moving down, you can see sales per day. So this would be updated on a monthly basis. Here we're looking at July 2017. But as we enter a new month, this would change and you would just see the current month up through the current days. And by also mousing over, you can see the information in terms of total revenue for that day. All of this information is coming directly from your point of sale system. So we integrate into your point of sale system and we bring across all of your customer information, all of your daily sales information. You can see up here we have a product catalog, so we bring over the whole product catalog that you have in there. And we also bring over things like your shops, what shops do you have, your staff, and we maintain that and update it here in the system. So this is really, these are views that are created so that you can see at a glance the financial information and sales information for your stores. Then the second main piece of the dashboard are built off of a number of different modules, including tasks, calls, and appointments. And these really outline any kinds of operational activities that you want to manage within the system. So you can see here, these are general tasks, and you can see what is due now, what's upcoming, what's coming up in the future. You can see if they're overdue. Unfortunately, it seems like all of ours are overdue right now, but you can give those tasks out and you can assign them to people in your teams. And if just simply by clicking into this, you can go into the detail and see what updates have been made. Similarly, but more importantly for what we're doing around marketing automation and helping you drive services revenue, is we have these two modules, which are calls and appointments. Calls are automated calls that get created for your team to make based off of responses to marketing campaigns. I'm going to click on that right now and you'll see that it's reset. So what this will show you is it'll show you a dashboard of all the calls that are out there to be made that have come in because customers have received email communications from from rCRM and said, oh, I'm really interested in that service or this service. Please give me a call. And that will create an automated call activity for then you to follow up on with your team and to schedule appointments. So you can see here, call a customer to schedule a sizing appointment based off of the follow-up email. So they didn't open the first one, but they opened the second one. And this has been assigned out to our Encinitas service team. So now our Encinitas service team will go out and call this customer and then schedule an appointment. Now, in terms of appointments, we do have the capability in rCRM to schedule an appointment in the system and maintain a history and a track record of all of those appointments that get scheduled in terms of tune-ups or new bike checkovers. And we can look at that from a today versus future perspective. And we can also look at it just at what are my activities versus all team activities out there. And that's all built off of the roles and permissions. But again, you don't have to go to this level of detail in using the system to get value out of the system and to drive your services business. And I'll show you more about that. I just wanted to show this in terms of understanding more about what's possible. Another aspect of bringing over the information is if you're maintaining things like gross margin at the SKU level, we can pull together combined views and you can see what the gross margin is by staff and by store here. And you can see where who's doing the best in terms of getting the best sales from the team and who's doing the worst. As we see, Barb here is at -12. So this gives us a good indication of what we need to follow up on. So that's really the sort of detailed picture of what a shop owner or a store manager, as an example, could get. You could get all of these different types of views into the data. But what the power of rCRM is really built off of the fact that it runs almost automatically for you. And the way that that happens is we pull over your customer data and all the sales data associated with that customer. And for instance, we have a list of customers here, and we open this up, and then we can see all their demographic information. But we also have this information here, which is about the services that we've provided them. The system sets these values based off of the sales that happen that we pull across. You can see here, as an example, that we're pulling across from Lightspeed, the POS system for this example, different sales that have happened over time. We identify what team member made that sale. And then based off of those, we can, the system will automatically set these different statuses. For instance, let's say that on the August 6th that Lawrence came in and bought a bike. And what would happen is this would change from where it is today, and we'll just make sure, we'll pretend like Lawrence is a new customer. So Lawrence comes in and buys a bike, and immediately this value here, new bike, no sizing, will get set. And what will happen is then this gets saved, and that the next time you open up this account, and as a matter of fact, as you open up your customer records here, you'll see these values changing, and the system does that automatically for you. Now, what happens now that this value is set for this customer, again, automatically by the system, that puts this customer into a campaign list for a sizing campaign. So we want to promote our sizing service to this customer now that they've come in and bought a bike, a specific kind of bike. So that's part of the onboarding process that we do with every bike shop, is we go through and we identify the categories and SKU items that are applicable to every campaign. So for instance, on a sizing, you probably are not doing cruisers or mountain bikes for a sizing service. So those would be excluded. So if somebody came in and bought one of those bikes, this value would not get changed. But all the other bikes, this value would get changed. So we're just gonna say that Lawrence came in and bought a bike, and that bike Lawrence could benefit from getting a sizing service associated with that bike. And therefore what happens is he gets set here and then added to a list. And that list is over here in the marketing automation section, or MA section. And so I'm just going to take you over to that. And now what happens in the M&A section, or the MA section, is that this is really a complete marketing automation platform where you can drive additional business to your customer. And I'm just going to change the agency over here so that we can look at a live setup here. I'm going to go into here, and you can see that what happens is, so you can do all sorts of things with this platform. You can launch your own email campaigns. You can create landing pages and have forms on those landing pages. You can look at what's going on with your website, and you can have reporting based off of that. But what we've pre-configured and set up for you in rCRM is the ability for these campaigns to run automatically, sort of the drip and nurturing campaigns. So, and these are all targeted towards service. So if you look at these campaigns, we have a sizing campaign, a fitting campaign, an annual fitting campaign, an initial bike checkover campaign, an annual tune-up campaign, and a suspension campaign. And each one of these have a specific automated workflow that happens with them. And that's all kicked off by the fact that that value in the customer record changed. So I'm going to go in and show you how that's set up. So each campaign can be designed to run either daily, weekly, monthly, or immediately, and it can be run multiple times a day or just once a day. You can see here, you can run it every few hours. But what's going to happen is, as customers come in and they buy a bike that's applicable, the system will automatically set that value in their customer record. That will then put them in a a target list for sizing called all CRM contact sizing. So Lawrence is already in here in this sizing marketing list. And then once he's in that list, what will happen is that the next day, or however we set up the program, then he will get an email communication. And the way that this happens, so for instance, you can see here, so they're set, the contact is set to the new bike, no sizing, and then we're going to send an initial email out to that customer. And that email is over here under program messages, and you can edit and preview those. So these can all be customized for your business and for your own shop and your own personal branding. But we create a set of templates for you to kick off with, and so that you can do as minimum as you want. And you click on that, and you can see what these templates look like. So this is an example of one customer, and this this talks about the value of the sizing appointment and what it brings to you. It gives a sort of a pictorial how your body should be resting on the seat. It also will go through it will go through the service and the value that they get from that service. And then here they have a button that they can click that then will inspire, it's basically a call to action to that customer. Yes, I'm interested in that service. You can also have your social media sites linked in here, so they can click on this and go to your social media. They could click on your shop's logo here and go to your shop's website. So there's a lot that can be done. It's fairly typical email marketing capability that you would see in Constant Contact or in MailChimp or whatever. It's got the same capabilities as one of those platforms. So if you're using one of those platforms today, you can actually replace it with rCRM and not have double the cost. But so then that goes out, and then if they open it up, so what will happen, we'll wait 7 days. If they opened it up, then we'll create a call in the system. Now what that will do is it will create a call so that your team will follow up. So essentially, let's run the scenario. They come in, they buy a bike, we send out the email. And if they open the email or they clicked on the button, then what's going to happen I'm going to go back over here to the demo, the CRM department here, and what will happen is that a call will get created. So if I was Lawrence and I received that, what will happen is that a call will appear here, and you'll be able to see the date of that call, and then it's still scheduled, and you'll know that, hey, Lawrence opened the sizing email and is interested in a sizing service. And then either you can open this up and make the call yourself, or you can assign this to one of your team. So if we want to assign it to the sales team, we just click in sales, and that's going to pull open the sales team that we've got set up. And then you can then save that, and you can change it to, I don't want it to be on the 19th because that's already passed. So when you miss that one, but I want to call them this week. So let's call them tomorrow at 10 a.m. right when we first open, so that we can get with them, and then I click save. Now, if you don't want your team having to learn a new tool and coming in and using this this way, so that's definitely a capability that can come in. They can look at what's in their inbox. So for instance, you can access rCRM from any tablet or smartphone. They can look it up on their Android phones or their iPhones, and they can see what's assigned to them through that device. But you can also just export this and put it into a Excel spreadsheet. You can select all of this and just hit export, and that'll create an Excel spreadsheet that then you could post up on the wall and assign out to whoever you like. And then at the end of the day, somebody could just have the responsibility of coming in and updating this and making this a really valuable tool. So once we get through the setup process, really all you have to do is turn on the campaigns over here. So we would, you can see once we've got them ready to go, then you can look at the campaign, and you can go over to this one and say start, and then it runs, and it's going to run every day. And as people buy bikes, they're going to get emails directly from you. And the way it will work is if You know, if they open the first one, then it's going to create a call. But if they didn't open up, we're going to send a follow-up. And then if they didn't open that one, then they're going to go out. So then you don't have to worry about your customer getting spammed all the time. They're just going to get 2 emails based off of a purchase. And hopefully that's going to encourage them to reach out and say, yeah, I'm very interested. And then you'll have this running queue of calls that you can make. And then you'll make appointments based off those calls. And we will be reviewing the customer records on a monthly basis and providing you report outs on who received emails, and out of those people who received emails, who has come back in to access that service, and how much does that represent to you in terms of revenue from services and revenue from sales while they're in the store. So we'll be reporting out directly to you the value that you're getting from the system on a monthly basis, so that you can, for yourself, judge whether you're getting a real ROI on your investment into rCRM. That represents a general overview of rCRM. I hope this was useful, and would love to answer any questions that you might have, and look forward to talking with you in the near future. Thanks very much. Bye.